it's
Uh,
it's a process to go live on YouTube. I think but you know how to stream from Zoom to YouTube, right? You know how to do it from your phone or laptop. Okay, so let me hold on. Okay, so I'm making you co-host now.
I've not used this laptop before. My internet is unstable. I just need to be sure that my network and everything is correct before you start streaming, so we don't, since there's nobody here,
Okay.
so that
We're already on
we
YouTube,
don't.
but it's even if there's any it's like a beginning jitter or something or organization, it's okay, it's still okay. I've made you co-host now. I've made you co-host. Let me start getting our people to join because people have started liking the post on the group. Good evening, everybody. You're welcome to Thursday's edition of Transformational Wellness. In the house, we have Barrister Hope, and she's going to be training us this evening. Part of the trainings that we're having uh, is not just about mental health and wellness and all. You also, as a business owner, need to understand your personal brand. So Barrister Hope is going to be training us this fine evening. Miss Rosemary, you're welcome, ma. Barrister Hope will be training us, and please pay attention. Get ready to learn and absorb and ask questions. She's a very, very sound holistic person. So I'm so glad that she is here. So let me pull her picture up so you see. Okay, there you see our facilitator for the evening. So give me a minute. We're glad to have you, Ma.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on the time you get to see me. Um, it's it's amazing to be here, and the if at any point you really can't hear me or my voice seems low, do well to inform me. Either you interrupt the conversation or you get to put it up in the chat box that you can't hear me. I'd love this conversation to be quite interactive. At some point, I'd get to ask questions, and I'd expect that we we work together. So that means everybody is going to definitely have to talk at some point. Okay. Um, allow. I need to share screen. I need to be sure that my screen can be seen. Okay. So Coach Ndali reached out to me and said we're going to be talking about personal branding. And this is about because it goes to sort of explain who we are. And I'll just get right into it. So the subject matter is personal branding. Okay, so right in front of our screens, there are logos that we can find, and a question is asked: what are these, and what do they signify? So if it's going to be sort of a chorus answer, like a chorus answer class. So if you can, Coach Ndali, I think you might get to unmute people who raise their hands or whatever method we decide to use. But I just want to get responses. What can you see on your screen? Rosemary, I know you're here. Coach Ndali, you can also help us too. So what can you see on your screen, and what do you think the
Okay.
pictures signify?
Okay, should I answer?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I can see Coca-Cola. Should I answer? How many should I answer?
As much as you can.
I can see Coca-Cola, I can see Peak, I can see Close Up. And Coca-Cola signifies a beverage company. Peak signifies a milk or beverage company as well. And then Close Up is like for the toothpaste, for brushing your teeth and all. So let me leave the remaining three.
Okay, that's fine. Rosemary, you had your hand up. Just kindly unmute yourself and tell us what you see and what you think they signify.
I can see. Good evening, everyone.
Good
I
evening.
can iPhone. That's Apple is a phone company. Then Mercedes-Benz, it's a car company, and these are the logos. Then Dangote Cement, popular one. They produce cement for building and for other things.
Okay, so I'd want to run through it. You can see from the pictures we have on the screen, we have very popular brands. We have Coca-Cola, we have Peak, we have Close Up, we had Dangote, we have the iPhone logo, we have Mercedes-Benz. These are brands. So Coca-Cola, just like that Pochindali mentioned, falls under the a company that produces Coca-Cola, and in similar line of business, you'd have something like Pepsi and Biggie and a couple of other brands that should have. So the reason why these things are here, there is a feeling that each of these pictures on the screen evoke. So the reason why you would get to go for Coca-Cola or Peak or Close Up or Dangote Cement, if you want to ride a Mercedes, is because there is a feeling these products evoke to their end users. So the question then is, what is a brand? So a brand is the way a product, company, or individual is perceived by those who experience it. So we've identified some logos, we've identified some names. So it's the recognizable feeling that the assets evoke. So when you get to see Coca-Cola, there's something that comes to mind. Within the line of beverages, you'd want to think of quality. If you get to see Mercedes, you'd want to think of luxury. So there's a perception that you get to have upon seeing any of these products. So that's in itself what people get to perceive when they get to interact with a product, a company, or an individual. That's in synopsis what would decide to call a brand. If at any point you're not getting me, or you probably need to interject, do well to raise your hand, because I love me an interactive class. So what then is personal branding? The subject matter for today is personal branding. So what then is, so we've talked about what a brand is. So what then is personal branding? So to me, I'd say that a personal brand is a promise, right? It's a promise that you make and you're known for keeping to the person you're speaking to or someone you're trying to influence. And so for purposes of explanation, when I get to deal with Coach Ndali, or when I get to deal with Ogo, when I get to deal with Rosemary, there is a promise that Ndali is making to me that this is the kind of person I will experience at every point I get to have dealings with her. So the summation of who you are and the perception I have when I get to see you, when I get to walk with you, when I find you anywhere, is your personal brand. So it goes to say that your personal brand is a promise. So why is it a promise, right? A promise is something that you've said you would do. So let's say, for example, they said, I promise that I'll do this for you. So it means that what you've decided to do or what you said you would do is something that you owe me, right? So you owe me this lineup of actions. You owe me this lineup of value propositions. You owe me this lineup of behavior rather, when I get to see you or when I get to deal with you in any sphere of life. So I'd get to move to the next slide. So why have a personal brand? Why are we talking about a personal brand in this 21 days wellness program? Is because human beings are emotional. So if you have a good personal brand, people are willing to do business with you. People are willing to do life with you. People are willing to hire you. People, when you're already at a job, people want to do stuff with you. So the fact that I get to identify myself with Coach Ndali is because I know that this is the kind of person that she is. And because I would want to, at some point, work with my emotions in making decisions, I want to be sure that whatever feeling that Coach Ndali is going to evoke in me is one that I am willing to have and accept at the point I want to get to do stuff with her. So it's important that while we are trying to build the fitness, a fitness life, we're going to the gym, we're meditating, and all of that good stuff, that your personality is one that people would want to identify with. So persons can say something as flimsy as, that is how I am. That is how I was created. If you don't like me, leave it like that. For me, that can be quite funny at some point, really, because in building a personal brand, the subject matter of how you were born or how you were created is something that you just have to leave one side and decide that this is who you're going to be, irrespective of how you think you were born or what your temperament is, as people in the temperament school would want to call it. So let's move forward. So I said that a brand always begins with your values. Your values. What do you stand for? What kind of a person are you? What are your belief systems? So some of the values, I highlighted here is integrity. Are you somebody that your word, your yes is your yes and your no is your no? whether or not somebody is looking for, you know, quality. Remember the pictures we saw earlier of Mercedes and a couple of other brands? Assuming I want to go into a car shop and I probably have all the money in the world, you know, to get a wonderful car for myself. The reason why I would want to probably go for a Mercedes as opposed to a Toyota, right? It would be that, oh, I'm setting that I'm going to get quality from a Mercedes as opposed to a Toyota. Now, personal preferences differ. But then the reason why I want to go for one brand over the other, if I have all the money, would be that I probably want to get quality from that brand, or I get to do stuff with that particular brand, or I use that particular brand that I get quality. So excellence. What kind of a person are you? Are you someone who decides to do something and then you do it shabbily? In the journey of wellness, you must tell yourself that the totality of who you are is dependent on who you want to be. So it's possible that you're someone that you probably looked at yourself and you're like, oh, I'm not today talk true. Sorry for going the pigeon way. But then you're someone that you feel, oh, sincerely speaking, I find myself, I'm not essentially a trustworthy person. We know that these things are there. So you as a person ought to decide and tell yourself, oh, this is the sort of value system that I want to have, or I want to be known for. And so because of that, you work towards ensuring that you are this kind of person. And so what other qualities do we have here, or values rather, do we have here? Teamwork, innovation. Are you someone who's always innovative? Are you someone who's creative, thinking of ways of doing stuff, you know, with innovation in mind? So I'd quickly look at the 8 laws of personal branding. There are more. Some have decided to subsume this into 4, but then would decide to work with 8. And the first is law of specialization. So what is this saying? That you should focus your brand on an area of achievement. Your goal is to be the captain of your industry. So why I would want to call Coach Ndali is because I know over time she has worked with people with respect to their businesses, and she's the master of 10x your income via digital products, right? So in building your brand, you ought to, I tell people, the subject matter of personal branding is not essentially far from the subject matter of purpose. And whenever I teach purpose, I say, in finding your purpose, 2 things are paramount. Hindsight, right? Hindsight, insight. And I'd also love to add one again, foresight. So hindsight is, what have you done effortlessly in the past? So some people say, oh, I don't know what I'm called to do. I don't know my purpose. I don't even know what I'm good at. I don't know, I'm not sure. So I say, okay, fine. What have you done effortlessly in the past? What are the things that you do effortlessly that when people look at you, they're like, who is this person? You're so good at this, right? So what are those things you've done in the past before? Insights, you have to look inward. What are those inner strengths that you have that when you wake up by 4 a.m., somebody can yank you off your bed by 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. when sleep is extremely sweet and say, come and do this thing, and you're not complaining. And foresight would be what or who you want to become, who you want to be like, right? And so when we talk about you finding an area of achievement, we're saying the previous you, the inner you, and who you'd want to be. It's a summation of all of that. I'd want to go a little bit biblical for those that enjoy the Bible and are probably Christians. I wouldn't know if this story transcends to other religion, but then as much as possible, the story of the little boy David, when David had Goliath to deal with, he told Goliath that a bear came, a lion came, and all of these things came for his father's sheep, but he was able to strangle the lion and strangle the bear. So what is that? Hindsight. He's sort of remembering the things he did effortlessly. He has looked inward and he has realized that, oh, I'm very wonderful with the sling. And so he has the foresight that once I kill Goliath, my people will be free. So these things sort of are a summation of what someone who is looking to build a brand around his or her purpose should be looking at. And so your goal is to be the captain of your industry. Where do you find yourself? You just have to be the captain. That's the truth. When we mention your name, I, for one, have decided to build a niche around, or niche, or niche. Forgive me for the pronunciation of that word, but I've decided to build the niche around business law. I'm a lawyer. There are different areas of law, but I've decided I'll say, oh, I have a flair for business. I love businesses. I'd love to see businesses thrive. How about me ensuring that I'd use my knowledge as a lawyer to protect businesses from encountering threats? So that's about the law of specialization. The law of leadership is the second one. You have to recognize that you as a person have to be the most knowledgeable person in the room, the most respected, the most skilled person. So in building your personal brand, you don't want to be someone who's known as a mediocre. Oh, how much do you know about this field? How much are you respected by people around you? The law of leadership doesn't essentially entail that you have to be that you be a leader as per position. It means whether the position comes or not, but it means that you as a person, you're able to be a lord in that area, whether or not you're given a position or not. Once we mention your name, someone can afford to say, oh, yes, I know this person. Okay? The law of personality. Your brand must be built around your personality. This includes your strengths and your flaws. And so a lot of times I tell people that you can't build a personal brand effectively without knowing what you're good at and what are your flaws. So because there's this funny thing that people say when you have encounters with them, or maybe you had conflict with them, somebody will say, oh, it's now that I've seen your true color. I like asking myself, how about the other colors you've been seeing? How come this one is the true color you're seeing? So that's because human beings, like we said earlier, are emotional, right? Human beings are emotional. You could do 1,000 things right, and then that one thing you've done wrong has flawed every other thing you've done. There's this thing currently in the wave, as much as I don't want to talk about it now, but then I know in recent times, there's been this saga, around marital infidelity, among influential people that we hear of. So these are people who have built respectable brands. However, the issue of infidelity is a flaw, has flawed their brands that they've worked so hard to build. So that's why when we're talking about the law of personality, you must know that this is me. This is what I am good at. This is what I am not good at. So if you know what you're not good at, your goal is to ensure that the things that are your flaws, you get to work on them. Okay, you might be so excellent at your job, but your problem is that you don't have integrity. If somebody says come, if you're telling somebody come, they should be going. Because you say you don't mean what you say, and you don't say what you mean. So I have a question here. What will be the best personality brand for you to have? So if you want people to describe you in a particular way, what will be the best way for them to describe you? What would be the best way for them to describe you, right? So as much as possible, you need to see that you get to work on your flaws so that whatever you're building, your flaws don't get to maneuver and destroy what you've built over time. So if you want people to describe you in a particular way, what would be the best way for them to describe you? So this is like a homework. So ordinarily, when I talk about this, I ask people to write down. So you get to write down for me, what's your best personality brand for you to have? So the law of distinctiveness, the law entails that your brand must be expressed in a unique way. E.g., you can have a distinct mode of speaking or having your haircut, you know. How can you be different from your contenders? So how are you different from another person? There are people that we know that this is what they are known for. This is how they look. They are distinct from every other person. So if you get to, there are people that you get to see, let me call a very prominent woman by name Ibukun Awoshika. I don't know whether I have, but if you have, you can even tell me in the chat box. But as much as I've seen Ibukun and Woshika on TV and on social media and events, I've never seen that woman with braids. She has this particular hairstyle that she makes that, you know, well, I don't know what they call the hairstyle again, but then it's wig, and then you have to see her hair in front. So she has this particular hairstyle you'd always catch her with. And then I don't even need to see her face. If I see the head alone, I know that, or her hair alone, rather, I know this is Ibukun Awoshika. There's no other person. So you also know someone like, excuse me, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She's always with her Ankara. I've never really seen her with another attire that's not, the African cultural Ankara. So you can decide to have a personal style. Or this is the smell. I know people who pay so much money to get to these things are things that people do in order to feel different and look different from every other person in the room. So the law of visibility, your brand must be seen in a certain way to be effective. You cannot be said to have a brand until it's seen and perceived to be one. So when people see your brand as positive, you will be recommended all the time. So people say, oh, this is who I am, right? Oh, I'm a very trustworthy person. Forgive me, please. I got to, this is, I don't know whether this is appropriate, but then let me just share it. So I had this little meeting with some people, and then someone was asked to describe his wife. And then he said, oh, my wife is a very, you know, outgoing person, boisterous person, and easy to work with and fun, you know, the way he described the wife. And then a couple of us who knew the wife, we were all shocked because we didn't see her as that kind of person. To us, the woman was a very reserved and not talking to any, you know. And then as much as her things about her wife, some of the listeners couldn't believe the things he said because we didn't perceive her as such. So in building a personal brand, it doesn't just suffice for you to say, oh, I'm a fun-loving person. Oh, I'm a giver, for example. I lend to people. But then we are not seeing those things, right? So it's not sufficient to say, oh, I have a brand, this is who I am, this is this. And then at the end of the day, we can't see them. So people usually say that there are different parts of you. There's the you that you alone know. There's the you that people can see, and there's a you that people. Okay, I think I got it twisted. Let me start again. There's a revealed self. There's a you that you know, and then people also know. There's a you that people know that you don't know. Meaning that there's a perception people have of you that you yourself, you can't even believe if they tell you, unless you tell yourself, oh, really, I really need to listen to what people have to say about me, right? So it's not sufficient to say, oh, this is who I am. People also have to experience and perceive that. Is when they get to see you for that person you've described yourself to be, or you want yourself to be described to be, that they can actually say, yes, this is who you are. So the law of utility is the sixth law. It entails that your behavior behind closed doors must match with your public brand. The goal of this law is that she must consistently be a particular thing. So if you consistently go out with me or you do business with me, this is the kind of person you will get. So, like I said earlier, when talking about you knowing your strengths and your flaws, in building a personal brand, your goal shouldn't just be about your public image. I had recently, I just a couple of minutes ago referenced three celebrities that are currently in the news for the subject matter of infidelity, you know. And you will realize that these persons had a feeling that they exuded while, we used to know them in the public light, until some shady things that they did behind closed doors came, before the public. So the question is, what you do behind closed doors, does it in any way relate to the person that you want the public to perceive you as? So irrespective of your mood, irrespective of what life throws at you, are you this kind of person you've told us that you are, or you've portrayed yourself as? So if I consistently do stuff with you, let's say you're giving money at a particular time to maybe do something, and then maybe that period you are broke and you decide to siphon the money, right? So you won't now give excuse and say, oh, it was because I didn't have money at this particular point in life. That was why I siphoned the money. I'm not usually a thief, right? So utility entails that whether you have money, whether you don't have money, whether you're broke, whether you're angry, whether you're happy, that your value proposition, that what you've decided to say, this is who you are, always shows, irrespective of your emotions, irrespective of who it is that you are doing stuff with, or business with, or relationship with. The seventh law is the law of persistence. So it's one thing to identify your strengths. It's another thing to identify your flaws. And it's another thing to do the work. And in doing the work, there ought to be consistency. And consistency is gradual. I'm someone who, as much as I'm not trying to paint myself a saint, but then as much as God helps me, I'm someone who loves being truthful, right? It didn't just happen all of a sudden. I had to tell myself it was a deliberate attempt. Whatever the situation is, whoever it is, even if the penalty is going to be death, as much as possible, I ought to tell the truth, irrespective of the circumstance. And it's a gradual thing. And then you find that when you consistently work on a set of principles that you've decided to, live by, growth happens. So when you have established your brand, you must let it grow. You have to be consistent at all times, irrespective of whether you feel like it. So you don't feel like showing up, you just show up. So we've been talking about wellness for the past 16 days, if I'm correct. Whether if you're someone that you probably want to lose 10 kg or 5 kg before the end of the wellness program, that means every morning you have to stand up and run. Whether you feel like eating carbs or whether you feel like eating protein, you just have to eat what you're meant to eat to lose that 5 kg. Is it easy? No. But the law of persistence means you have to show up whether you feel like it or you do not feel like it. And so the ninth law is the law of goodwill. Usually, I love this law a lot because goodwill is something that as a business lawyer, I understand goodwill from that, from the legal perspective. Most times when companies get into the room and talk about subject matter around mergers and acquisition, what everybody is fighting for, either the person that wants their name to be retained or whether they want their logo to be retained and all of that, the battle that any of those companies, have at the back of their minds is, can my goodwill be sustained? Or even if you want to sell out, let's assume that there's nothing like merger. What you want is someone to completely buy out. What you're selling, what you're giving out is your goodwill. So if I've worked with you for a long time and then I have this perception of you that is wonderful, it means that's your goodwill. So when you're seen as embodying good ideals, the more respected your brand will be. So the sum total of who Rosemary is that she's kind, she's soft-spoken, she's excellent at her work. So when you're seen as embodying good ideals, the more respected your brand will be. Are we together? Are we together at this point?
Yes, we are together. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So these things we've talked about are the laws of personal branding. And as much as possible, if you get to put these things to work, or you have them at the back of your mind, you'd have an enviable brand. So I'd leave us with a task. I'd leave us with a task. So the first task is pick a word that will be your leading attribute. So what's the word does an excellent person? Maybe excellence, maybe resilience. So when people hear my name, what words do I want them to think about? Oh, each time I hear Coach Ndali, what comes to mind? Resilience. What comes to mind? Hard work. What comes to mind? Consistency. So what words do I want them to think about? And so once you've been able to itemize what you want people to think about, the next thing you're asking yourself is, what can I do differently? Remember that we talked about knowing your strengths and your flaws. So when you've been able to identify your flaws, then there's a gradual process that happens. It's asking yourself what you can do differently to make sure that those flaws become strengths. And so I usually would tell people, when you've identified your strengths and you've identified your flaws, amplify your strengths so much so that your flaws become infinitesimal. So we have a quote which I'd want us to, I don't know how we're gonna go about it, but then I want us to unmute. I want us to unmute and then read together. Are we good?
Yeah. I hear you.
Are we all here?
Yes.
Yes, we
Okay,
Yes.
are.
so our quote is, let's read together. I am
I
under
am under
obligation
obligation to
to be a
be
better
a
version of
better
myself
version
every
of
day.
myself every day.
I will
I will
persistently ask
Constantly ask
myself,
myself,
how
how
can I
how
can
be
can
I
I be
be
better
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 than
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 I
I
I
was
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 yesterday?
yesterday?
yesterday? Awesome. Wow.
Thank
I
you.
like that. Thank you so much, Barrister Hope, for an excellent delivery. This was amazing. God bless you, Ma. Thank you so much. Can we ask questions now?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so if we have any questions at this point, please feel free to ask. If you're watching at a later point on YouTube and you have any questions, please drop it in the comment section. The question that I have is, first of all, you did a very good. It's like you're an expert with slides and presentation. I didn't know you were like a life coach, or you even me that is in branding, you coached me. You did very well. So the question I wanted to
Thank
ask is,
you.
how do you, let's say you as a personal brand, okay, let's use this alleged marital crisis drama going on Instagram with Frank Edoho, Sandra, and Chike rather. So let's say, for instance, now, um In fact, not even for instance, they all have personal brands, they all have business brands and all that. Frank is a broadcaster, TV presenter. The wife is into interior, like high luxury interior, the luxury interior industry, right? And then Chike is an entertainer, he's a singer. So let's say, for instance, because the whole while Chike hasn't come and said he did or he didn't do anything. He has not admitted. Let's say this is all a farce, or let's say it's actually true. How do they actively, you can use one person as a case study, Chike, for instance, or Sandra, or any of them. How do they actively come back and rebrand in such a way that Nigerians and the world at large kind of forget or, ease into this whole narrative that they are of the whole alleged cheating incidents? How do they build them, pick themselves up after such a scandal? Can you hear me? Hello, Barrister Hope, are you there?
Okay. I heard your question. So one thing can you hear me?
Yes, I
I'm
can
at
hear you.
work.
But the
I can
network
hear
is
you. Can you
breaking,
hear
but I can
me?
hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
My net-
Hello? Barrister Hope, can you hear me? Okay, I think the network kind of threw her out. Hello, Rosemary. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Let me
Okay, please.
unmute.
Okay, please.
I'm
Where are you
fine. Good
joining
evening.
us from? Good evening. Where are you joining us from?
Enugu, Enugu.
Enugu. Okay, how did you get to find out about the training?
A barrister host WhatsApp status.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're so welcome, ma. You're
Thank you
welcome. We
so
are
much.
glad to have you. Are you on our training platform?
Yes, I'm there. I'm there. I even
Okay.
started work as
Have you been following the prompts?
Yes, I've been following, but the one I do steady is I started morning workouts because of the training. I actually wanted to start exercise, like register for GSC, but I'll be like something, this I'll do it, I'll do it. So
Mm,
when we started the training, I said, let me just do because where I live, my street is tied, like it's very okay. So
yeah,
there's this place I will like every morning if I wake up, I will use like I wake up 4 a.m. From that 4 till 5 or 5:30, I'll use it and stroll. Like
that's
I'll stroll
good.
for like one, sometimes 2 hours, but I don't
Wow.
usually get that 2 hours. 30 minutes every morning, and it has been so amazing. Like I'm enjoying it.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. You see, this work we're doing, we may not even get all the victory stories, but stories like this, reviews like this, they make my day. Thank you so much. We still have one more week, about a week to go. So please please continue,
I'm
okay?
not
And you can also send me your review.
okay. I will. I'm not stopping anytime soon because it helped me a lot. Some before now, if I take a walk, like maybe like it's not even up to 30 minutes, the way I will be breathing so heavy, like so fast,
Wow.
you feel as if it's but no,
Oh,
I no longer experience that. I can run. I'm just trying to add maybe running, jogging
to
to
it.
it because
Well done.
this one
Well
I'm trying
done.
to add jogging. I'm enjoying it. I do that every morning and it has been so amazing.
Oh, I'm going to give you a gift. Send me a DM. Do you have my number? Send me a DM. Say this is Mrs. Rosemary. I'm going to send you the 21-day wellness challenge booklet and the wellness checklist as a gift for
Oh,
joining the training from Barrister Hope. Thank you so much.
thank
Okay,
you.
Barrister Hope, please, we asked you, please can you answer?
I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Thank you so
Um,
much for inviting Mrs. Rosemary.
can you see and hear?
Yes, we can see you in 3D.
Amen. Okay, so I had to, network was quite slow on the laptop, so I had to switch to another device. Okay, so your question, you had asked about, if I got you correctly, about the current marital issues and scandal going on. As much as during
Yes.
my presentation, I tried or I avoided mentioning names,
We don't
but
call them,
but
but
you're
thank God
currently
I said
dragging me.
allegedly.
I didn't call
I
anybody's
said
name.
allegedly.
I just talked about celebrities, you know. The truth of the matter is, I like I said earlier, with while the class was on, your flaws and strengths there are two things that you must know as a person, because there's this thing that people say, which I somewhat believe. They say in a multitude of rumors, there's an iota of truth.
Mm,
So sometimes it's rumors, right? But the iota of truth there, the droplets of truth that we can find, is that that rumor had a source. So it might be that what's going on is not essentially what what we all know, that really happened.
mm,
I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, or maybe I get to the phrase. It might be that it looked like it. It looked like it, but it's not essentially it. There's this comedy skit that's been trending online, that someone would they'll line up old market women. I don't know how many of us have seen that. And then they'll give
mm.
the first woman an information and tell her to give for
Oh,
them to
I do that
disseminate.
practical all the time at my physical trainings. Let's welcome
Okay.
our next speaker, Honey Ojuku, OAP. You're welcome, ma. We have Barrister Hope in the house. And then she's taught us so wonderfully, and then she's answering questions. So, Barrister Hope, please continue, ma. Barrister Hope, are you there, ma? Hello?
Okay, I'm here.
Yes.
Can
Your
you hear
camera
me?
is off. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Okay, I had to
That
change location.
training, this exercise is an exercise on communication and on, let's say you're trying to um make people understand the extent or how far a rumor can go, or how far gossip can go,
Yes,
how damaging
yes.
it can be. Yes, I do that all the time when I do physical trainings. So
Yeah. So I had earlier said that within the context of what we usually see from such from such um from such exercise, sometimes the person at the tail end might not give you the exact thing which the originator started with, but there might just be one sentence, or not essentially a sentence, a word, right, that sort of
yes.
conveyed the conversation in general. So sometimes when you look at rumors, they don't essentially look like it, but then there might be an altar of truth somewhere. And unfortunately, not like a general principle though, but unfortunately, sometimes there's really no truth.
Hmm.
So that's why it's so sad. That's why it's so difficult. I must tell you the truth. It's so difficult to how do I put it now? It's so difficult to change an opinion about you.
Hmm.
Do you get? Mm-hmm. So it's
Yes.
so difficult to change an opinion about you. So what I'm going to say is, for if someone finds themselves in such a situation, the only thing you can do for PR is get a good PR team.
Okay.
Get a good PR team. That's something you have to do for people. This on social media. But can you erase from the minds of people what has gone on? You definitely cannot. And
That's true.
definitely cannot. I remember, I don't like going personal, but then I just said, let me just say this, right? I remember when I was in primary school. So there was this rumor at the time. Just hold on. Let me settle a domestic issue.
Okay. Coach Honey, you're welcome, ma. Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay.
All
Can you
right.
hear me?
Okay. Yes, please.
So I had, unfortunately, I had an incident that happened when I was in primary school. So sadly, I don't know, somebody from nowhere, at the time.
My network is,
At
is
the
quite
time.
low. Apologies. But I'm here. I'm here. Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, ma. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you, Ma.
Okay. All right. We'll be with you soon. So, Barrister Hope, are you here, ma? We can't see you.
Okay. You can hear me, right? That's the most important thing. I
Yes,
had
we
to turn
can
off
hear
my
you.
camera.
Okay, okay,
Okay, I
okay.
had to turn off my camera, but I just have to put it on again. Okay. So this conversation is going this way. Okay, so something happened while I was in primary school. My purported best friend at the time had out of jealousy brandished me a witch. And so everybody believed it. And then the people that left my school at the time, I was quite brainy. I was always first position in class and all of that stuff. Maybe out of jealousy, she went to tell my teacher that I had told her as her best friend that I was a witch.
Imagine that.
Can you all hear me?
Loud
Uh-huh.
and clear.
As sad as that was, right? the person who left my school during that period, we met 20-something years later. And when we were trying to introduce ourselves, because I was one that walked up to him and said, "Oh, your face looks familiar. I think I know you." And then immediately he looked at me and I told him my name. He said, "Hope the witch."
Wow.
This is I'm telling you,
Wow.
like years later. Years later, right? Years later. So you can imagine somebody who hadn't seen someone for 20-something years and probably obviously, lost touch, lost connections. And that was what he could remember my name with. So one thing with scandals is that it never really goes out of the minds of people. You can do a lot of PR for the media and then as much as possible clear it out from the media space, but then it doesn't really change the perception about you that people know. And sadly, because the thing currently on the media is about intimacy and stuff that happened behind closed doors. Even your best of friends can't even vouch for you. The only damage control that they might do would be coming out to say good stuff about the person. But as much as that is a strategy, it won't still solve the situation. That's why for me, the issue of personal branding is something I take seriously. It's something I take seriously because there's this proverb that says a good name is better than riches. So it's just for us to work as much as we can to preserve our names. But then once tainted, you can do quite a number of damage control, but then it's for some people, you can't really clear it out. It's only when those people maybe get to encounter you again, over and over again, and they realize that, oh, what was in the news about this person, it's not essentially true, that their stance might change about you. But with this world of social media where, it's a global village and everything is everywhere, it might be quite difficult. No matter the PR you put in, people usually say the internet never forgets.
True.
So you might not, and frankly speaking, to one of the things in the news too currently is about Desmond Elliott and his race under the APC. And you go under the comment section, and you see people saying all sort of things about him,
They're
and
saying
not
that
essentially because
that he
not
so
essentially because it
mm,
mhm. Not
things
essentially
like
because he did anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong to them. He was just complaining about intimidation and all. But because he had earlier made a statement that went viral about, on the
calling
floor of
us
the house that they should ban social
children.
media. So people will keep saying that social media never forgets. Social media never forgets. So in this day and age where everybody has a phone, it might be difficult to change people's
And
opinion once it's calmed
do,
down or
do you
something
know
wrong
the
is out there.
do you know the worst part? I think they added his name to the dictionary as Desmond idiot. It's hilarious. I'm sure he feels terrible. I'm sure he feels terrible about it. But he didn't even make matters. He didn't help matters when he got into the house and he was building lavatories. I don't want to call the words on this because we're live on YouTube. So I feel he should rebrand. He made no effort to rebrand himself. He made no effort to clear the damage. He's just coming out to come and contest again. And people still with the whole agreement, the whole upset, everything that happened, and they will take it out on him. He didn't even clear anything. He didn't do any grand gesture. He just ignored everything. and now it's coming out to contest again. Like what does it take us for? So allegedly, or let me add allegedly. So rebranding is something, even as an individual, as a brand. If you look at the Coca-Cola, like you said earlier, and occasionally they come and rebrand. They come and, if you check Honey, check her profile. Sometimes she'll just do like a brand new photo shoot, change something, make people feel her presence again. That is what rebranding. You mustn't have a scandal to rebrand. You can just decide, okay, it's a new me, new you kind of movement. You add something new. Like on my birthday, I added like a new NGO to one of the things I'm doing. So I think branding is key. Anybody that doesn't understand branding in this day and age is missing out on a whole demographic of because people buy from people. They need to understand you, they need to trust you, they need to love you, they need to feel that good energy towards you before they invest in anything you're saying, whether as a politician, as a business person, as an whatever it is you do, right? So I'm so happy that you thought on this, you spoke on this topic. Usually it's been the wellness, transformational, fitness, nutrition, but I feel people that need this. We have a lot of entrepreneurs in our midst, so I think this topic is very, very timely. Barrister Hope, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. So, do we have any more questions for Barrister Hope? Any more questions? Miss Rosemary or Mrs. Rosemary, honey, do you have any question for Barrister Hope? Okay.
Yes,
So,
yes, I have a question. I have a
okay.
question, please. Okay, Rosemary, go ahead when you're done, please.
No, I don't have any question. You can continue.
Okay, so Barrister Hope said we can't really clear people's minds when they have a scandal about us. Maybe they've heard a rumor about us. We can't really clear it. But
Yeah.
yes, and I like the fact that we say that the internet never forgets. But I've seen people like have scandals, and sometimes it looks like some people are forgetting about their scandal. Like people don't even talk about it anymore. For instance, let's track back to when Kim Kardashian's mom decided to create another sex tape after the sex tape that Kim Kardashian and her boyfriend then had. Her mom decided that no, you know what? People want to talk about this one. Let's create another one that has more lighting. All right.
Wow.
So after that, Kim Kardashian now still gets to pop, and now her brand is popping, and you hear people say, "Oh, Kim Kardashian is doing well. Wow, she has this business." Yeah. So it isn't that people forgetting that this is how this lady became popular? Why are they not remembering that? Why are they talking about how
Mm.
big her business is? Like,
Mm.
why are they not remembering that this was what happened?
Okay.
Interesting.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
One thing you'd realize about social media is from time to time, subject matter always changes. And with proliferation of new subject matter, there's always something new to talk about. And then if someone has also spent, it goes for something, but has that entirely erased the perception of some people about that person? It hasn't. The only thing is that the person is just not in the news, or the person has probably given us other things to talk about. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yes,
So
I'm getting
things
it. Please go
in
on.
the way social media work. Yes, the way social media works is that people come and from time to time, I as a person, I had told that before now
Barrister
that
Hope, the network is
if it's
breaking
about social
again.
media, you won't find me there. I'm more I'm more into conversations with people that I, I, I really comment on social media. I rarely do. I see these things and I pass. I just feel like, oh, it's another subject matter to while away to put up there down gist, hot gist. You
Hello? 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 Okay.
The network is
Um,
bad.
the network is bad. I don't know what's happening. But let's, I think, let's say a very big thank you to Barrister Hope. She has done so well. If anybody has any
can you hear me?
questions, yes, we can hear you. We can hear you now. The network
My
was,
Zoom has been connecting and reconnecting.
yes, it's network. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay.
It's a Nigerian factor.
It's an African factor, actually. When Ghana wants to do
Okay.
his own, it will. Thank you so much, Barrister Hope. You are amazing. God bless you. I think we need to have a TED talk later on and trash out how to deal with scandals. Would you like that? Maybe on Instagram. We'll do a,
Okay, thank
we'll
you.
do we'll do a TED talk, how to handle a scandal. What's the best way? And if Honey is available, it would be fantastic. How to deal with a scandal, because a lot of people are going to still get scandals. And trust me, I'm in PR. There's nothing like, okay, we always say there's nothing like bad publicity, right? You can always ride the wave, like Honey said, with Kim Kardashian and everything, but you really don't want bad press about yourself. That's the truth. Even us in PR, if you go and check, you will not see anything, any funny story about me anywhere, because we understand how the media works. So it's so interesting. It's so interesting that Honey brought up this topic. I feel even for Kim Kardashian, I feel that because of her brand is a sex related brand, so she keeps on trying to
Yes.
put out the narrative that she's hot and she's sexy, hence doing the body. Even sometimes when she goes to take her award, she's like she received an award for best dressed, meanwhile she's always nude, right? So she understands that's her brand and she
So
plays
she
towards
broke
it,
into her
bringing out.
brand. She's using that to sell,
Yes.
right? So she knew
Yeah,
that this is what
exactly,
that
exactly.
it don't cast, it don't cast. Wow, okay.
Exactly.
Very
Exactly.
interesting.
So she understands her brand is the sex and the sex is selling her. That's what she's standing on. and then also dating Black athletes and Black men and all those things. So she understands that, and for the wayward, I won't call it wayward, but for her own industry, she's doing, but there's some certain people that would never want to, some Christian brand, I would not want to associate as such with her. But yeah, so it is what it is, right? So understanding that's the key. So we try as much as possible to put a good foot forward. But if, for instance, something happens and there is bad press, don't be afraid to own up to it. Don't, in fact, don't even, like, just get a good PR person, right? And things will be okay. But we advise as much as possible, if there's any drama, issues with a client, trash it out within the seconds, because you don't want anybody dragging you on social media. People are angry and people are hungry, and they are looking for the next exciting and sensational person to drag. So you don't want it to be you. So if any issue, even in my skincare brand, anything at all, any barara, I will refund. I would I would make amend, like whatever it is, although there's not been any issues. But we have to be very, very conscious with dealing with human beings. The heart of a man is very desperately wicked. And okubalego is always something that can always bring issues. So I feel we need to go deep into this topic, because scandals can affect people's mental health, especially with this Frank Edoho, Chike, and Sandra drama, alleged drama, right? We don't want to hear that somebody went and took sniper or anything, because of that's what I've been hinging on and screaming since the beginning of this thing. Let everybody just tread softly, let them go for therapy and let them heal. That is my own take on the matter. Thank you so much, Barrister Hope. So we are we are we are on our day 15, and this has been an amazing journey. So I just want to thank you for pulling me out. Honey, you heard what happened 2 days ago. I think I sent you a screenshot of what happened with
You
the
did.
first
You
aid
did.
drama. I was live on a phone call with Barrister Hope when it all came down. In fact, we are just gisting, we're talking relationship matters and stuff. And then all of a sudden, the accident happened, and I just went into frenzy mode, like running around and everything. So it's like, but I'm getting myself I saw her yesterday. She's doing well. She's moving around. I thank you all for your patience. We were supposed to hold these trainings yesterday, but it's fine now. We are here. So I want to introduce Honey. Honey, shall you be turning on your camera?
I didn't know I would do that now, but I'll do
Okay,
that.
okay,
No
okay, it's
problem.
fine.
I'll do that.
All right. So I want to,
I'll do that.
Honey, did you send me your bio so I can hype you small before we start? Have you sent your bio, ma?
My network was breaking.
Okay, I was asking if you
Can
have you
you hear
sent me
me?
your bio yet, or you introduce yourself?
I think I did. Anyway, I can do that. I can introduce myself.
Okay, but before you do, let me introduce you.
Introduce
Let me
myself.
from my
I
own
thought I
end.
sent you.
Okay, if you can still send, I can read from it. But I would like to introduce the lioness of New School Radio, Honey Ojuku, my sister. She's an amazing person. She is in fact, you know how people have coaches. Honey Ojuku coaches me from time to time. I will even lie to you. I'm saying it publicly because she's amazing. She has the best emotional intelligence hacks for so many different things. And I'm so happy that for the very first time ever, she is on our platform and she's going to be speaking to us. She's going to be speaking to us. Honey is a multi-talented uh young lady. She is a radio person, a radio personality. She's been on so many different TED Talks. She's always adding value and wisdom. She's an influencer and she's an all-round like positive vibes lady. I'll be on a live with Honey and the network will be going bad. And Honey would just be like, ah, this network was work. And before you know it will work. So she has such positive energy. I've never heard her in a bad mood or anything. She's a sweet soul, and I want to welcome Honey to our podium. I'm going to go make some noise on the platform. But we are so glad to have you here tonight. Thank you so, so much, ma. The floor is yours. Please introduce yourself and
Thank
then your
you
topic.
so much.
You're welcome. Let me make you co-host so you can share
Thank
your
you.
slides if you have some. All right.
Um, okay, no problem. But I'm so grateful. Thank you for the introduction. Very, very organic intro. I like it
Welcome,
when
ma'am.
Dali gets to speak. Very organic. You're just saying it as it is, straight from your heart, because your heart is very
Oh,
pure. Right? And
oh,
I'm so
thank
grateful.
you.
Honey is she's a human being. She's a human being that connects with amazing people, like amazing people that I'm talking to here. It's such an honor to be here with all of you, the great men and women in our midst. I'm so honored. I'm also an on-air personality with Max 102.3 FM, Max Breakfast Show in Lagos. Every morning from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m., we sprinkle angelic positivity to the world, because Nigeria keeps having its news stories that are not always positive, but people like us on the radio in the morning keeps the frequency better, because everything is vibration. Everything is vibration. The Holy Spirit is vibration. God is vibration. It's feeling. It's us being in tune with the grace of God, no matter what's happening. So we try to keep the broadcasting space engaging like that. I've been a journalist for 12 years of my life, and I'm young, but I've experienced life. Sometimes I tell myself, "Kekwani ye game is the last." Like, what else will happen? Because I feel like I grew up way too fast for my age, and these were based on the experiences of life. And it's always an honor to share the little experience I've had with other amazing people who have also been through all of this. And Dali is one powerful woman. She's my sister, and she's been through a lot herself, but she still
Mm,
shines the light of positivity and God. Right? Imagine having a wellness training session for us. People are not thinking about this much. People are thinking about going to buy gari, going to buy fuel, going to solve Nigerian problems and family relationship problems that they have. But if we can do the inside work, honestly, I think this is good. We need to do the inside work. And that's why I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, Coach Ndali Modebe. Thank you.
you're welcome, ma. Please fire on.
Okay, so today I want us to look at, and thanks to uh Esquire, the barrister that talks about rumors and other things. I joined in late. I learned a lot from that. So today I want to look at your mind is listening to everything you say to yourself. Everything you say to yourself, your mind is listening to it, right? A lot of times people think that confidence comes from money, from relationships, from the beauty you have. For 5 years now, I haven't been forgetting this, that confidence starts from something much more quieter. Can you hear me? I hope I'm clear.
Loud and clear.
Okay. Confidence, peace of mind, wellness, it comes from something much more quieter than money, which is good, than relationships, beauty, all them stuff. And the private conversations we have with ourselves every single day is also where wellness comes from. Because your mind is listening to everything you say. I say it like your mind is you. You are your mind. What you say is what you are. You are the self you're saying you love. I love myself. I love myself. It's your mind. And sometimes we are saying things that we shouldn't say to our mind, and it's affecting what comes out of us. The private conversations we have with ourselves every single day is what happens to us. Whether you realize it or not, your mind is always listening. And it's so important that we remember this, because sometimes we get carried away by the distractions of the universe, of the world. This person is saying this today. There's kidnapping here, there's killing here. Our family members are losing out here. Our lover is annoying us. We're just listening to all that, and then we're infusing it into our spirit. Your mind listens to you when you wake up and call yourself lazy. Your mind listens to you when you wake up and you make a mistake and suddenly start calling yourself a failure. Your mind listens to you when you compare your life to everybody online, every Instagram post, every TikTok visual, every Facebook post. Your mind is listening when you compare yourself and think that you're behind, right? And after hearing those things, the mind slowly stops separating the emotions that you're feeling from the permanent truth. Like your mind doesn't know anymore how to separate, oh, this is an emotion. Honey, Chamako Juku is feeling sad today, and she's calling herself a failure because she's not yet married. And then her colleague somewhere is already married with 5 kids. Now she's calling herself a failure, instead of just saying that her time is coming. And even if it's not what God has planned for her, life still goes on the beautiful way. Your mind does not know how to separate the emotions from the truth if you keep telling your mind bad things. And that is how self talk shaping your identity. You know, some people, we discovered from research that some people have spent years bullying themselves internally without even noticing it. Like, they have been bullying themselves. Some people have spent their years saying, I'm not smart enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, I always ruin things, nobody truly loves me, oh my God, I'm too damaged. People have said, I'm not attractive enough, I don't have a BBL, I don't have a pointed nose. Ah, look at that girl, look at that guy. He's cuter than I am. That's why I'm where I am. People have said I can never get it right. All right. And see, at first, we discovered that it sounds like frustration. It sounds like, oh, I'm frustrated with life. Oh, God, I'm having it bad. Let me tell you, it's frustrating sometimes in this world. I'm not even going to pretend, right? But it takes extra courage and extra positivity to tell yourself different things, because the more you tell yourself these things I mentioned, it becomes what your mind believes about you. Now imagine if your mind, your subconscious, believes that you are not smart enough. No matter any room you walk in, your subconscious is going to deliver I am not smart enough energy. And people know, people are not dumb. People know when your energy is saying, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough. You cannot deceive people. Do you understand? So once we tell ourselves, see, no matter what's happening, like Job in the Bible, for instance, my dad is a pastor, but I can still live the universal life, right? But I remember that my dad always talk about how Job lost it all, how he lost every single thing. Yet this guy still had courage inside of him. Sometimes the negative energies around us want us to not be well mentally. Because when we're not well mentally inside of us, that is when we lose it all. So that is why you see people going through trauma, people getting raped, people getting um um getting hurt. They have been good to everybody, but when it comes to their turn, people hurt them. You see all these negative things happening to them. And yeah, we call it negative, we call it demonic projections, we call it all kinds of different stuff. But I've come to learn that these are blockages that the negative forces want to bring to your life so that you are not well and you're not doing what you are sent here to do. And what you are sent here to do is to be the definition of God, to have that factor. That's why you see sometimes you don't have money. You go to this job, you're not getting this job. You go to this place, you're not getting it. And then you now start telling yourself, I'm not good enough. Oh my goodness, I got a first class, but look at me, that first class is useless because I'm a useless person. But how about you put yourself together mentally by affirming positivity and then talking to people and networking better and trying with everything you can to do something else while you wait for the job that you want. But if you close your legs and close your hands and put yourself together and stay back in the house and say I'm not good enough and have your mental health down and you're not well mentally, you're going to remain not good enough for as long as you're in that position. So wellness is beautiful when our health is good. Like, you don't take alcohol, so you know that your blood sugar level is good, your liver, your kidney, all of that is good. But do you know that some people are having some sort of disease that they don't know where it came from because their mental health, the inside of them is not a beautiful place. And why is the inside of them not a beautiful place? Sometimes the trauma of this world has made them so ill mentally. So that bitterness has started forming some cancerous cells because whatever you put inside of you, including the words you feed inside of you, is what you become. Sometimes your environment is not going to help you out. So that's why while we're here, you start planning ways of leaving that environment that is not helping you out. But you have to start planting roses of wellness, words that will heal your spirit. This person hurt you, that person hurt you. See, people are hurting people on a daily. Even that person that hurt you is coming from a place of hurt. But you're not going to be on that person's level. You're going to tell yourself great things because life happens to every one of us, but we have to plant divine roses inside our bodies by saying the best and the most positive things. Even if they say that the whole place is deep and dark and painful, you say, no, what I see is that this place is beautiful and full of light. It will start manifesting inside of you. And I'm so passionate about this because it has worked for me. I remember one time that I was going through so much, apart from losing my mom, rest in peace, Flora Ojuku. But I was going through so much. I wasn't going out anymore. I wasn't accepting gigs anymore. I wasn't hanging out with people anymore. My friends who knew that I'm a party free spirit person were always calling me saying, honey, Biano Kaipo, honey, come, let's go out. And I wasn't. This was happening for like 2 months in my life. And I thought, okay, maybe I'm aging, maybe I'm getting older. But no, I've seen 40-year-old friends of mine, 50-year-old friends of mine that are having a great life. So it is nothing about aging. It was what was inside of me. So I was out of a relationship that really scattered me. And guess what? I don't think it was the guy's fault looking at things from a positive angle. I needed to learn a lesson. But when this happened when I healed myself. I healed myself because I want to say I'm an alchemist, thank God. But God has given me that power to heal myself through positivity. And how did it happen? One day I was just checking music because I love music a lot. I was checking music on my Spotify app, and all of a sudden, the Holy Spirit must have done that one. Um, uh, um, an audio. Thank you, Ndali Modeve. Rest on Auntie Flora. Rest on Mommy. So the Holy Spirit or the universe sent me an audio that just played the value of the phoenix. The value of the phoenix. If you're on Spotify, if you're on YouTube, check this out. Check this audio out. The value of the phoenix. And it started playing. And this woman was saying things that were so beautiful. Let me check it out here. Do we have time, Dali? Can I play a little bit of it? Coach and Dali, can you hear me? Okay. I think she's on mute. The value of the phoenix. Okay, so let me play a
Yes,
little
you
bit of.
can. Yes, you can. You have time. Take all the
Thank
time you want.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you. I hope this is safe for the future for people to listen to us, right?
Yes, it's streaming live on YouTube, so it's always going to be there. So please go on.
All right, awesome. Because we need to heal everybody as we can. So I
Oh,
was
yes.
listening. This lady now sends this. Some of her audio are being um locked only for people that can buy. So let me play this one. Yes. So I hope this one plays. Um, please listen, everybody. Let me play. Let it be. Okay. I give myself grace. Can you hear me? Can you hear her? I
Loud and
understand
clear.
that I am human. Okay, listen. I am dedicated to myself. I give myself room to grow. I encourage myself to make better decisions. I honor myself. I look forward to my future. So these were the things, and it was so beautiful to listen to this meditation because we've prayed to God our Father in heaven, and then we now come and we're not sounding like God our Father. It's very, I don't know if God is not man, but if I was ever like, God, I would just be like, you have talked to your Father who is the King of Kings. Why are you not healing yourself by saying, I look forward to the growth of my future, all those things. So these were the beautiful words. There's so many. You can check it out when you're free. These self-concept affirmations are a great way to impress your subconscious mind when it comes to improving yourself. For some people, it helps. It helps with resistance as they may find general affirmations harder. But when you can tell yourself beautiful things, no matter what's going on around you, it heals you. I wish there would be hospital times where we can go there, and when we're done praying for people, we have a room where we play all of this for them, because some people need to start healing from inside. That if they don't heal from inside, no matter how many doses of injections they get, they are not going to heal. I think this is it. So while we're healing and maintaining the healthy part of life and the spiritual part of life, let our inside heal. Let our inside heal. Because if you start thinking of your colleagues in the office, they're rude to you, they're saying this and that about you, they don't love you. Ibido chebe, you go to the office, chebe, you also think you're thinking about it. I don't care. I don't care about what people say about me. Not like I don't hear it, but I don't let it create a cancer inside of me. They have said what they want to say. Maybe they're looking for something to say. They're bored. They're trying to have a conversation. So it's them. Or your family members will call your phone and say, oh, when are you going to get married? Or when are you going to start supporting us in the family financially? It's like you don't have more. It's like there's a foundational curse somewhere. Okay, God forbid, or they say there's a foundational curse in your life. Why are you believing that? Why can't you say, God forbid, there's no foundational cause, or start praying against the foundational cause? Why can't you do that?
Immediately, God forbid, oh.
Do you understand? Why can't you do that? Why
To
can't you
the
be on that
person, I'm
level and
telling the person, God forbid, I rebuke it. You have to own your
immediately,
words.
immediately, mama, immediately? But some of us know. In our brain, we start thinking, maybe that's why nobody in my family went to school. Maybe that's why nobody has a master's degree. It's true. Oh. Really? Really? What God has not said about you, what a human being, a mortal said about you, is what you want to believe. Anyway, so these are the tips I have before Dali chases me out. Number one tip,
Mm.
ladies and gentlemen, on this
Please, you're
wellness journey.
welcome to stay as long as you like. We're not chasing you out at all.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. On this wellness journey, the first tip is not easy. Let me start by saying it's not easy. But the first thing is that you have to catch your inner voice. Start noticing what you say to yourself after mistakes, after embarrassment, after stress. Start noticing it. When it happens again, write it down, journal it. Ndali journals, all the spirit wellness queens and kings journal. Write it down. If you wouldn't say that thing to someone you love, don't say it to yourself. If you wouldn't say you're stupid, I'm stupid, to someone you love and value, Don't you dare say it with yourself, because yourself is the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. For the rest of your life. You can get married to your partner tomorrow, and I don't know, or you can be working in a place where you love all your colleagues, but you're going to be living with yourself for the rest of your life because you don't know what plans God has for you. So let's be real here. So if you cannot say you're stupid, or you're a failure, or you're from a cursed ancestral family, if you cannot say to someone you love, why should you say it to yourself? Don't you say it to yourself? Number two, stop joking with self insult. And even when people say things to you, like see the way Dali said, God forbid, immediately. Immediately. Don't let that word get to the next room. Don't let that word get to the next frequency. Let it be cancelled there. Words like, I'm useless, I'm mad, oh, I always fail. Hey, it might sound like you're jonesing, it might sound like cruise, but your mind records them as truth. Your mind does not know that you are joking. Your mind does not know that, oh, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. No, your mind, I'm ladies and gentlemen. Number three, separate feelings from your identity. All right. Feelings like failure is not the same as being a failure. Feelings are temporary, but identity is your self concept, is who you are, and is built over time. I'm so real. Sometimes we're going to not make it in some things because we're human, but there's always a chance to learn and keep it going and do better, right? Albert Einstein, how many times did he try to give us light, electricity? But he kept trying. He kept trying. So when you fail, don't start saying that you are a failure. And parents as well listening to me and will listen and stream this for posterity's sake. Be careful what you tell your kids. It might sound like you're angry, but you need to also learn that when you're angry, you should keep calm. Don't tell people that you don't tell your child, Neki Sigidi, coconut head, this boy, yeah. So no. Yes, the boy is naughty because he's a plain sheet. He came into this world as a plain sheet. So it's what you pour into him is what he's going to write. Some of our parents have said a lot of things. One kai. Mem. Megia. 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 Hey God. Mommy, mom gonna when my kids are going to be doing that to me, are you not going to be there crying as well? You call the child to somewhere and ground them properly. The words we feed ourselves is the book we become. A lot of us are very bad, dirty books because of what someone had poured into us. That's why we attract the kind of people we attract. That's why we go to the kind of places we go to. Because of the kind of books inside of us. So sometimes if someone is not writing that book for you, you might be the one writing that book yourself by the things you're saying. Number four, please replace attack with truth. Don't jump on fake positivity. All right. When you fail, don't come and say, oh, I did not, is it not, you now become a bit of a narcissist and start saying, I did not really fail. Oh. Is that man that did it? Is that man that caused it? Don't be fake positive. Say the truth. Like, I'm learning. I'm learning. This is hard, but I'm going to handle it. This marriage is not easy, but I'm going to be hopeful and handle it. I made a mistake, but this is not who I am. I made a mistake, but this is not who I am. It's real. It's real. You made a mistake, but it's not who you are. And number five, talk to yourself like someone you are responsible for. For instance, if your younger sibling was struggling, you wouldn't destroy them with words, except you don't have emotional intelligence. Your sibling comes to tell you that they failed or they got a carryover, and you start saying bad things to them. Like, I knew it. I knew that you would not amount to anything. Look at you. I knew that you would not amount to anything. Why wouldn't you have carryover? No, you're going to apply softness. Even though you're going to be pissed because you don't want to pay another school fees. I hate paying school fees twice. But there's a way you tell the person and they will know that they really messed up. So apply that same softness to yourself. Number six, understand that repetition builds belief. Whatever you repeat daily becomes a voice your mind trusts the most. So, affirmations, prayers, these things are what we become. What are you saying every day? Start it. Give yourself 21 days of writing everything you want in a on a paper. Write everything you want on a paper. I am going to blah, blah, blah. I am great like this. I am amazing. I walk into the room and it shines. Everybody that connects to me feels the light of God. I am going to make $20 billion. Those things will happen. But you have to keep saying them. Try it for 21 days. Write down everything you want to achieve. And every morning and every night, say it to yourself. It wouldn't happen like magic because we're not in a magic world, we're in the real life. But from time to time you start having connections, building relationships that would take you there. And number seven, please create emotional safety inside of you. Confidence doesn't grow in a mind that is constantly under attack. So even when your mind tells you things like, you're talking to someone right now, maybe you're on a date, for instance, you're on a date with somebody and the person is looking at you some type of way. In your mind, you're now saying, this person hates me, this person doesn't like me, this person is going to abandon me. You've already told yourself what it is. The person is going to abandon you, sir. But when you need to know we are powerful. We are powerful. Like when yesterday, when I was stuck in traffic, for instance, I was stuck in traffic and I knew that we were supposed to have a conversation, myself and Indali and everybody. And I was so sad because we already wanted to have this conversation days ago, and I'm about to disappoint Coach Indali. Honestly, I my mind was close to saying Indali is going to be very pissed off with you, and she's going to really hate you, and she's going to not forgive you. But what I told myself before sending the voice note to Ndali was, Ndali understands. She loves you. Don't worry. She'll understand that you're not you're not trying to run away from this. And in the morning, I think she slept off. And in the morning, when we had a conversation, it was so peaceful. I feel like if I started saying bad things, maybe Ndali might start thinking bad things of me. That is how powerful we are as human beings. That's what I think. If you keep thinking, oh, you go to a place and people tell you that this boss is a bad boss, and that is their own experience of that boss. The angels of the Lord can manifest inside that boss, and when it comes to your turn, the boss is going to be nice to you, that everybody's going to look at you and say, did you use juju on this man? So that is their own thing. You manifest what you're going to see. You have to know your power. Once you know this power, the negative energies, they run away from you. They run away from you because they have seen that this person now knows who they are. Nothing they shake them. The enemies, the negative energies that cause illness and all that stuff, they don't want you to be positive. They want your soul to not be in a good place. So you have to be positive no matter what is happening. Number eight, please, ladies and gentlemen, pause before reacting to yourself. I'm telling you, pause before reacting to yourself. Dali Modebe, I'm telling you, it's really crazy, but we remove all blockages. I will never encounter such a traffic in Lagos during the time I'll be here. In the name of Jesus, I'll never, because it was not nice at all. It was as if they didn't want me to come and talk to someone that the message was for. And it didn't make sense to me. Pause before reacting to yourself. Before you say anything harsh in your head or harsh to somebody around you, take a pause. Take a pause. Yes, we hear me. This person calling me, don't call me again. Just wait for me to finish this conversation with Ndali and everybody. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that pause before reacting to yourself, it changes everything. A person who constantly tears themselves down will start hesitating in rooms they belong in. All right. So let me tell you something again. Before I moved to Lagos to do radio on a higher scale, because Lagos is the place, the industry place. If you want to be a media person, whether we like it or not, Lagos is the place. If you've been doing it, building yourself in other cities, Lagos is the place that you go and see that you think you are a big fish there. Come and see other big fishes. Let us know how much you have learned. That is Lagos for you. But when people, for 12 years, I was working in other cities before I moved to Lagos. People will come tell me, oh, honey, don't you think you should be in Lagos? You sound so good. Your style is different, all that stuff. I knew that I was on that pedestal. I knew it's inside of me. And every day I was learning. There's something called imposter syndrome. I think I was going through then before I started calling myself the lioness of New School Radio. I had imposter syndrome. And at some point I didn't think I deserved to be on the big stage. And that was the negative energy doing that to me. How? How don't I deserve to be on the big stage? How don't we deserve to be on the pedestal? We are the children of the Lord. We are the children of the positive energy. We are the highest of them all. But inside of me, I was a bit scared. But until I started telling myself, honey, you have the most magnetic personality. Honey, you're going to be with other magnetic personalities like yourself. You have to tell yourself that. That was what hindered me from being on big stages. I had friends who were telling me, honey, you are amazing. Honey, you're powerful. Honey, but deep down in my heart, I didn't know that. This was about 6 years ago. And now I believe it that I deserve every good thing. I deserve to be in every room. I'm not desperate about it. It will come to me. The persons that will bring it to me will bring it to me. And that is how I want every single person that believes in God and in themselves to think. Every believer should believe like this. Believing is not just about going to church. Going to church is great, going to the mosque is great. But believing is also about believing inside of you that you can manifest everything by hard work and by the words that come out of your mouth. There's so much more for us to gain in this world. Ladies and gentlemen, there's so much more for us to gain. But we have to know that we deserve to be in those big stages. It starts with what we tell ourselves, all right? Even our future responds to the words that we tell ourselves. Your emotions are listening. Be less fearful, be more confident, be less desperate for external validation. Let me tell you something. If people keep telling you that you're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing from morning till night, and you don't tell yourself that you're amazing, that is your business. See, you can shine all the way outside, but if you look at the mirror when you come back inside, you look at yourself, and if you see that all of that is empty, you will see clearly. Organic go see that that thing is empty because you have not poured into yourself. You are not whole in yourself. You wait for people's external validation. You're waiting for people to tell you you're whole. Let me tell you something. You have to pour into yourself. Pour into yourself because it's from pouring into yourself you can now pour into the world. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to wrap it up here by saying that where's that? I wrote it down for you, especially for you. The mind was never designed to thrive on constant internal criticism. This is something many people overlook. The mind was designed for you to pour into it with healthy self talk. Healthy self talk. So when you start doing that, cancer, all those diseases, all those evil things that come into your life, some of them are there because of what you have told yourself. Some of them will go right now, immediately, because you've now started healing the inside of you. And that is wellness. Thank you very much for listening. And thank you, Ndali. God bless you.
Wow, this has been phenomenal. I'm telling you. A lot of things you said hit home. I never knew you suffered imposter syndrome. You're always so confident. Like someone would never guess. Was it when you were
Yeah, I did
younger?
that. I did. I suffered it, but I had to tell myself, no, no, no. Let's learn. Let's learn. Let's move. A lot of great
Mm.
people. See, Mama, I think is what the enemy pours inside of great people. Even Oprah Winfrey at some point suffered
Really?
it. A lot of
Do
people
you
have
know,
suffered imposter
the thing,
syndrome.
the enemy tries to make you feel like you're in isolation. I believe when I was younger, I not even younger, like 20s, 30s, like I've suffered imposter. In fact, even at this stage, sometimes some things I want to do, my mind will start second guessing me, like underly more. That's why, like, so when I feel that imposter syndrome, that thing that is trying to make me not do, I do it immediately. Let's say I'm about to start a campaign, about to, it could be as small as going live. I, the opposite of what is telling me not to do is what I do. And when I do it, it's fine. I think this is so deep. And then that self-talk, what you said, if the whole world, if everybody tells you you're fantastic and you don't tell yourself, like that one you tell yourself is the most powerful actually. This is so fantastic. And wow. Please, this is it's time for Q&A. If you have any questions at all, please, this is the time to ask. Barrister Hope, do you have any questions for Honey? Me, I know I have questions for you. Barrister Hope, do you have any questions? Okay, I don't know if she's close to her phone. But Honey, my question is this, right? What are so when apart from
Okay. Can you hear me?
loud and clear,
Okay.
are you there?
Hello, honey. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Loud and
Hello.
clear.
Nice to
Esquire
meet
herself.
you. I think this is the first
Hello.
time I'm seeing or meeting you.
Thank
Hello,
you so
hello. Don't worry.
much.
When I'm going next time. Next time I come to Lagos, I'm going to say hello.
I can't wait. Honestly,
Okay,
let it happen.
that's an amazing. That's an amazing conversation. Okay, I wouldn't know whether mine is a question now or a contribution. I don't know. I think it's more
Contribution of both
personal.
ways.
Speaking
Okay.
about imposter syndrome, sometimes there's this thing. Okay, I sing, right?
Okay. Wow.
I know I'm a great singer.
Mm-hmm.
I've
She's the head of
won
the
a couple of
entire choir in
competitions
Dominion
before.
City.
Wow. Geez, that's huge.
So
Barrister Hope, I think your network.
can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, my network. A call came in. I've switched from my laptop. So, funny enough, I
Okay.
don't like the sound of my voice, right? I sing, people get to be blessed. If it's a blessing situation, uh, if it's a inspiration situation, people get to be inspired and all. But then I still don't like the sound of my voice. So, at what point, right? At what point does self-talk now translate to, I don't know if you get at recording, I record for people, but then I still don't like the sound of my voice. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. And
I
then as
understand.
no matter how I tell myself that you're good at this, you're good at this, I've gone for competitions just to be sure that this thing you really have, is it that nice? And I've won competitions, even if I refuse going for Idol and a couple of them. But the thing is, at what point does your self-talk translate to you owning that reality? Because I just tell myself, because I'm a confident person on a normal day, like I'm the only one who knows I'm scared. You can't see me and
I
I
know.
look
I feel you. I
shy. I'm
understand.
never shy. I've always worked on the confidence levels since I was a child. But then voice. So at what point reality?
Hello, Barrister Hope. We can't hear you. Okay. Honey, were you able to get the question she asked?
Yeah, I was. She said, at what point does self talk become the reality? Yeah, because you know that she's very extra confident, and everybody around her knows that she can do this and do that. But in her heart, sometimes she doesn't like to hear the sound of her voice. She knows that that is her own thing, right? But everybody knows that she has been confident for forever since they know her. So, but how does more of talking to herself get her to the reality of beginning to accept the sound of her voice and do even better? That's what she said.
Yes,
Mm.
exactly.
So we said it already, all right? Your self-talk doesn't change the objective world, but it entirely dictates how you interpret your voice, your sound, who you are. You begin to love it. You begin to see that there's something about you that is different from everybody else. That just like this person is unique, this is your own unique. All right. But if you don't even have self-talk at all. Sometimes we say we have self-talk, but we don't have self-talk. All right. Sometimes we
Mm,
don't have self-talk. We think we have self-talk, but we are not even interested in that because there's a lot of distraction. And there was one time we were doing our IG live, you talked about how when you get back, you do your meditation every single day.
mm,
You have done it for
mm.
more than 6 months of your life, right?
Yes. Yes.
That is you being consistent with your self-talk. So it's something you do intentionally. It's something
I've
you
done
do
it for more than
intentionally.
5 years or 10 years. Every day I wake
Exactly.
up, I say that today is going to be a great day. And any day I say it, that day ends up being a great day. No matter what happens, the day ends up being a great, fantastic day.
And the day you don't do it, it feels like something is wrong somewhere.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, there was a time that I had a sponsorship deal with I'm going to get back to this question. But I had a sponsorship deal with Zenith Bank, and I didn't do my remove all blockages affirmations that day because I do all my affirmations and I do my prayer and I do my Bible reading for that morning audio. I'm more of an audio person. I'm not really a read person, like book person. I like to hear all my books. I hear them. So I didn't do remove all blockages affirmation. And then that day, Larry, I think it's Larry. No, I don't remember the guy's name. The manager of the Zenny Bank sponsorship that I was supposed to do called me and unleashed on me. And I got a query that day. And when
Wow.
my boss called me, he unleashed, and I don't know why he unleashed because I didn't even do anything to him. Do you understand? I didn't do anything to the guy. And I got a query that day. And when my boss was giving me that query, I told him I didn't do my removal blockages affirmation today because this is a blockage.
Wow.
This is a blockage that is trying to stop this deal from coming to this show. And I told it to him in his
Mm,
presence. And after everything, that Zenith Bank sponsorship kept coming for 2 years till I left the station. Because I
wow.
went back and after replying that query, I continued doing my blockage, removal blockages. And even when those people's contract ended, they came back again and kept doing it. That guy that the devil wanted to use to stop that sponsorship from coming to the show, it did not stop it. It did not stop it because all blockages were removed. So we have to consistently do this self-talk thing. I didn't used to like the sound of my voice. I think I don't even like it still
Really?
because when my audio is playing on the radio, I reduce it. We do prank calls, myself and Westy. When the prank calls, when I call a listener and it's playing, I tune it down. And Westy is asking me why. That even him, he doesn't like the sound of his voice. Now, it is normal for creatives. Like I said, the negative energies, they don't want you to know who you are. We are the called. We are the called. I need us to know that some of us are really the called. And because we are the called, some of these things will happen. Now, guess what? I don't like the sound of my voice, but that does not stop me from doing the removal of blockages. That does not stop me from going to events and making sure that when I'm hosting an event, my voice is heard well. I don't try to bring down the other person that's with me. I make sure that their own voice is heard well because people will never forget how you made them feel. So even though you don't like
True.
the sound of your voice, make sure it's heard well because that is you thanking God. That is you being grateful to the person, to the spirit, to God rather, that gave you that voice. So you have to keep the self-talk coming. Even when you do it, that is energy. Do your self-talk, but have big energy that even though you don't like the sound of your voice, when you go into the room, you make sure that your voice is heard because your voice is your power. Or do you want to come back to this world in the next lifetime as a person that doesn't talk?
Mm. Wow. That's deep.
Yeah, because some of us, I feel like some of us need to use the power that was given to us. And your power could be in your writing. And sometimes people will never give you a like. People will never call you for a gig. But when you start doing it, irrespective of whether they call you or not, because you're trying to show God that you're grateful for what He has given you. You're trying to show Him that I am grateful. Oh. Nkeji na kaka. Nkeji na kaka.
Mm.
Nobody's saying that they like this thing, oh, and me said that is honey. I may not like it, oh, but I am going to keep it going. That is when more will
Mm.
come. More doesn't just come from followers and likes and all that stuff. That is great. But more comes from you being grateful for what you have because you know that what you have is different. And that is why sometimes you don't like it. Because whether you are a spirit inside a body, you are still a human being. You are still a human being. And sometimes your human body may not like what is different.
Wow. Wow. Honey, can you hear
Thank you.
me?
At least, now this is you're the. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
At
can.
least you're the third person I've seen that doesn't like the sound of our voice. Third.
A
Actually,
lot of OEPs, a lot of journalists, we don't like the sound of our voice. We don't.
this is in fact, I have a friend in Florida. He sounds good, but he says he doesn't like, he was the first person that said that. Now, Barrister Hope and you, honey. Like, I'm surprised. Please, tell yourself I love me. I love the sound of my voice. I might not have the best diction or the best anything, but when I listen back to what sometimes I record voice note and send to people and I play it back for myself multiple times. My voice they sweet to me like sugar. I don't I've
Your
never
voice is
I never
beautiful. It's like an angel.
I never knew it was a thing. So please, you need to tell yourself, thank you so much. Tell yourself, I love the way I sound.
I love
My
the way I
voice is
sound.
rich.
My
Speak
voice is
it back to
powerful.
yourself.
But I
My
know what my
voice,
voice is. I don't just like to hear it. It does something to my body. I don't know. But I know when I
you
tell
need to
people
sit
something with
back
my
and take
voice.
in the power of your voice. I was just telling Barrister Hope that you present so well. This is the first time second time I'm witnessing her present. I was just saying she presents so well, she speaks so well, she teaches so well, and so do you. So that thing saying you don't like the sound of your voice, the enemy is trying to steal the power.
Exactly.
Your voice is healing, oh, to you.
Yes, now it's
It's
healing, Mama.
medicine.
Even hope.
Ha.
It's healing. That's what I'm saying. The enemy. But you know what? Ever since I knew that a lot of all journalists, my colleagues, they say, "Oh, I don't want to hear it." Ever since I knew that it's just the negative energy trying to stop you from using that voice, I just blink at it and keep using the voice. So
Of
even if I
course.
I tune it down, I'm using it because this voice is given to you, your eyes, your face, your hands, whatever place you know that is the most unique part of your life or your body. It was given to us to do something. It was given to us to make something better. It was given to
True.
us that when someone hears you or sees you, they heal. So the enemy does not want you to heal the world. And we are going to keep healing the world till God said, come to heaven.
Amen. Amen.
Oh
Amen.
my God. Amen. Oh, Mama. Amen.
Wow.
So what's your question so that I can do it and go and prepare for my show?
Okay. I want to ask a question and I'm asking it for a certain reason. All right. Let's say um let's say for instance you struggle with self-doubt, self-limiting beliefs around what you do. You already know you're good at what you do, but sometimes that doubt just comes in. How do you combat it? How do you combat the little foxes that are just whispering, oh, this project will fail. Oh, nobody's going to nobody would benefit from this thing. Why are you doing this? You've done this for long. Especially me that I do projects from time to time. I have projects I do every single year, right?
Like you're
How
so
do you,
powerful.
my dear, is God. Is God. I thank God for the sustenance and the creativity. And I find out that sometimes when I'm so close to doing a project, the enemy will send some people, and they could come in form of friends and family, and they'll just come and just want to disrupt it and tell me, oh, there's no need for this thing. And I'm like, I I literally see the faces of those, even if it's just one person that will benefit for the program. I start like it's like 'cause when I do things, they are like back to back to back feedbacks I get. Either people around me, all of them just are, anxious, most of like is among the energy I feel around me, what the people around me that will now birth. Then I now go to bed, I get a dream, or I'm reading the word of God, I get a revelation. Then I start the project, and then some people, I feel the devil enters some people sometimes, and then they'll now come and tell me, oh, you don't need to do this. Why are you doing this? Who is
Mhm.
paying you for this? And all that. So how do you for future me, I don't listen to those voices. The way I ignore them, I even use my voice to shut it down, right? But how do you stop second guessing yourself, stop the
Exactly.
self-doubt and self-limitation, limiting personal talk?
Okay. I like what you said. You said you ignored the voices. I think that's the first thing, to ignore the voices. And then number two, like you said, surround yourself with positive people. I think that I do that a lot because I have self doubts. I used to have it, but I think I got delivered of that 2 years ago. Self doubts, I delivered from that one. That's another demonic nonsense, right?
Mm,
How did I used to overthink everything. I used to overthink the smallest things that don't even have meaning. The biggest things sometimes I don't even overthink them that much. But I found out that sometimes even those things you think are the smallest things that would make the world a better place. But you wouldn't blame us as humans. We are being through trauma. You said sometimes the devil enters some people. Those people, that's their own kind of
hello, honey. Can you hear me? I think maybe she got a phone call. Wow. Barrister Hope, are you in the house?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you. I think our network is bad.
Yes, or maybe she got a phone call. Maybe she got a
Something
phone
like that.
call. This session has been very practical and amazing. Wow.
Yep.
Right. I hope do you have any other questions? Do you have questions? This is question and answer session. Oh, do you have any more
Nope.
questions?
At least some.
Okay.
Nope.
So now you start going live, talking more, making videos, speaking videos. You sound amazing. Oh, you just have to tell yourself. I think maybe
Oh,
she's in the phone
one
call.
of my
Yeah.
one of my senior friends told me that I'm a good teacher. She told me that this afternoon, though.
Whoa.
But whoa.
Was it not just what I just told
It's
you
to
now?
create it. It's to create
It's
it.
what I just, yeah. So, and as if I told you this, you teach very well. You teach very well. And Honey Ojuku is fantastic. Her energy is always light, always positive. So this session is, I think I today has just been an amazing day. I don't know. I think maybe the network kind of pulled her out, or she got an urgent phone call. Wow.
We're no more live on YouTube, right?
We are live on YouTube, or should I cut off the live on YouTube? Do you want to say something
Okay.
confidential?
No.
Wait, let me go. Okay, so if you're listening to us, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments. We might still have 1 or 2 trainings tonight, so still stay with us.